Hey, count me up. Hey. Check the price, check the price. This the type of fly you can't buy. Oh my. Count me up. Check the price, check the price. This the type of drip you can't buy. Count me up. You see what I'm working with. I'm born with it. I'm working it. And no, you cannot purchase it.
Hi there, and welcome to Worth Beyond Measure
Special Edition. Let's hear it from the boys.
Yes, and so I'm your host, Jessica T. By day, I'm a high school English teacher at Richland Northeast High School in Columbia, South Carolina. Aside from teaching, I'm also the executive director of the Pretty Powerful Foundation, a nonprofit that's all about inspiring the next generation of women through digital resources. Alongside me, I have my fabulous co-host, Miss Ashanti. Tell the people.
Hi guys, I'm Ashanti. I am a Y.E.S Girls mentee. I am also a previous pageant contestant, and I won the People's Choice Award. I go to Military Magnet Academy. I am a basketball player, and I am the dance captain.
In other words, this is popping. Okay, this is popping. We are so excited to have you here with our last session. And before we get more into that, we have to again thank some very important people who have made this entire experience possible. So, for our sponsors, we would like to thank Coastal Community Foundation Facebook Grant, Dominion Energy, Francis P. Bunnell Foundation, the Intertech Group Incorporated, the Joanna Foundation, the Westbrook Foundation, and last but not least, Walmart.
Wally World.
Yes. T-shirts, okay? So these T-shirts that we are wearing are available for purchase on our online store at yescouncil.org. So make sure you get you one, okay? Well, this is our last session.
No.
This is our last session, so I hope that you've enjoyed spending your Sundays with us from 6:30 to 7:30.
And I hope y'all brought y'all brothers, cousins with y'all this time.
Because this is a very, very special session, all right? And again, remember that you have the opportunity to win some cash prizes. Simply by watching each of these sessions, you're entering into a drawing to win cash prizes in the amounts of $25, $50, $75, and $100. Just remember, after this session, you must complete the post-evaluation, okay? So again, easy money, but you must complete the post-evaluation in order to be entered for these cash prizes.
I know somebody want that money.
Me, I really want it, okay?
If y'all don't want it, I'll take it.
Yeah, I'll take it. I really will. In our last session, again, please feel free to comment, ask questions, engage. And Ashanti, again, tell us why that's important.
Because you're listening to somebody who's trying to help you out.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't respond and interact with them, they don't know if they're doing their job.
Right.
They want to help y'all out.
Right.
Speak up. Speak out.
Right. And they're here to answer your questions. So please take advantage of that. And let's have some girl talk with some boys today. That's always fun, right? That's always fun. If you would like to request a mentor, please email mentoringinfo@yescouncil.org. All right. So let's introduce these last speakers, shall we?
I don't know if I'm ready.
Let's get into it. Tonight, we will hear from Let's Hear It From the Boys, which is a panel facilitated by Chris Joyce and Ricardo Perry. Choice brings vibrant energy to music of today. He is a native of Charleston, and his music is at the top of the music charts, okay? So all of these speakers have been popping. I know I keep saying that, but I'm impressed every single time. The Choice music movement is truly making a difference. Also, we have Mr. Ricardo Perry. He's also a native of Charleston and served as a police officer for 12 years. He is the founder and former executive director of the Distinguished Gentlemen's Club, and he's also an author. Pretty legit here. These men are joined by other distinguished gentlemen from the Tri-county area to share how special you are. And now, let's hear it from the boys.
Hope y'all enjoy.
Hope you enjoy.
Man, that was an awesome introduction. We appreciate that. This is a special segment we have for you on today about Let's Hear It From the Boys. Listen, we got a panel full of just wise, intelligent young men. Let me first introduce myself. I am Chris Joyce, Joyce, I am glad to be here with you today. And we're just going to get a name from everybody and start right where we're at.
My name is Alex Dixon. I was born in Connecticut. I moved here to Charleston about 10 years ago. Right now I have a business called Get Hitched Wedding, where we teach people how to dance for their wedding. That's what I do. That's me.
Wow. Cool. Name's Malcolm Green, born and bred right here in Charleston, South Carolina. One of the leaders for my ministry, but also a playwright and actor in plays locally. So that's what I do.
My name's Antoine Hoskins. I go to Cross High School. I'm 18 years old.
I'm Ricardo Perry, and we're going to get into our discussion for today about a young man's perspective on relationships, the young ladies that we interact with, and I think this is going to be an important discussion because it's not often our girls hear from the boys, especially the truth. Right.
Facts.
So, we're going to ask a series of questions and just really have a great conversation.
Okay.
All right. So let's talk about young ladies who are assertive, right? Young ladies who tend to chase after young men a bit aggressive. What do you guys think about that? Or how do you feel about a young lady who typically chase after the boys?
So speaking from personal experience, it can be a little off-putting, you know? Right. I mean, as a male, we're supposed to be the pursuer, you know what I'm saying? We're supposed to be the ones who do the chasing. Not to say that every male is like that, right. But I know for me, sometimes it can be a little much that, you know, before I even get the opportunity to work up the courage and, you know, I'm sitting there thinking about how I'm gonna come to you the right way, the things I'm gonna say, how I'm gonna present it, and you done rolled up on me. I'm just like,
It's gonna be easy.
Sure. Yes. Maybe. No. I don't know how to feel right now. Okay. Because I feel like I'm the woman now, being pursued, and I don't know how to deal with that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Am I the only one who feel like that?
I feel like that too. I feel like that too. I feel like a lot of times for a male losing that, it's like if you took that role from me, when it gets to the point of you pursuing him, that he doesn't have to do it, you could lose like that lack of, I can almost say like respect. So it's like, respect you on that level that I have to treat you on this level, like you are that queen that I have to pursue, you know? So when you approach me, you know, it's like maybe I shouldn't have to put that much energy in now. Yeah. So now that reflects how you approached him on how much energy I'm going to put in trying to constantly pursue you. Why? Because you started off already pursuing me. And sometimes us as men, women do it too, but sometimes us as men, we expect you to continue to do something that you started off with. Right. So now that you pursued me and I'm not really pursuing you, I'm not gonna put that much energy into it, and I'm gonna expect you to keep up with this same energy, this same pursuit of doing that. And then when you get in a relationship, now you're wondering like, you know, you're not doing all this special stuff, you know, you're not doing all this stuff that I was expecting. You like, you didn't really give me a reason to, you know, you didn't push me to that because, you know, I didn't pursue you, you know, it wasn't really a challenge for me.
You know, you was gonna make a statement earlier.
You know, I do agree with what you guys are saying. I think that it's a man's job to approach a woman and not allow her to do it because, you know, she's supposed to be treated like the prize.
Amen.
I think it says a lot about how we are to value a woman, right? I believe my mama used to say, if it's worth anything, you'll fight for it, right? And so, you know, as men, for us to go, you know, fighting for our woman, whether it's courting her or, you know, wooing her, whatever it is, you know,
even keeping her.
Yeah, or even keeping her. What we're saying is, you're valuable to me, right? You're worth something to me, and I want to do whatever it takes to show that to you. Now, you know, again, I guess women may want to give that same sentiment, but I don't know, just, you know, throughout history, it's always been the man pursuing the woman. And I also feel like if if I get it too easy, I may not appreciate it.
You're
that
not gonna
much,
appreciate
There you go.
right?
There you go.
If it's just handed to me, I'm probably not going to value it too much.
Now, keeping on with that train of thought, I have another question for you guys.
Go ahead.
So, what are some of the dangers you would say if a young woman wants a young man to commit or even pursue marriage before they're ready?
I think that goes back into what he was saying about the being a little over aggressive or overzealous. Like when you push him like that, like sometimes that can make him push back and not in a positive way, you know, or it can lead to you being taken advantage of, you know, because you've already expressed your intent. You put all your cards out on the table, so to speak.
That's very good.
And so now, like, you know, you at lunch and he coming over there and he taking all your good stuff off your tray because he know that you'll let him have it. But he really don't have no intentions of like pursuing it any further. He just knows that you'll do it for him. Like he's saving his lunch money in his pocket and letting you pay for his lunch because he know that you like him. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes you just gotta keep it close to the vest. You know what I'm saying? Don't let him see what you got before he need to know. Let him earn it.
Yeah.
Dude, you covering everything.
I'll say.
Oh, go ahead.
I would say, like, when it comes to when you said about marriage, definitely that was definitely your main point on that angle. When it comes to like marriage, of course, most women want marriage, you know. So when it comes to that divine thing, that beautiful thing, marriage, that union, when you get a woman more trying to push it, trying to force it, it makes a guy step back, like my brother Malcolm was saying.
Right.
But when you want that reassurance from a man, when you want to feel like you're wanted, that he desires you on that level, you almost want to hear him say it first, bring it up first. And a lot of times I see young women, they'll bring it up constantly, throwing in little conversations, want to be around conversations, send you little videos of people getting married. And then now it's like, now you're starting to pull back.
Dresses.
Yeah, like,
Sending you TikToks.
so she's not saying nothing, but she's saying something. You're like, hey, you know, Tanya, she was like, she had these wedding rings. And you're like, why are you sending me this? You're constantly sending it, so it makes them pull back. Now, if you know that he wants to marry you and you don't have to worry about that anymore, wouldn't it be easier to know that he's trying to marry you or he wants to go that direction if he's doing that to you? He's sending you video. Hey, look at my homeboy, Brian. Look, they just got married. He's constantly talking about marriage. He's constantly talking about future goals, future things to do with you, concerning you. Then you don't have to worry about bringing it up. But if you constantly have to push that, then you can have a pushback as well, or a guy that's stepping back. So I would definitely stay away from that if you're a female.
Well, and maybe the flip side of this, right? I don't think that a woman should wait 20, 30 years.
No, definitely not. Definitely
for
not.
a man to be like, you know, will you marry me?
Yeah.
And again, it goes back to, you know, that woman's worth and value. You know, if this man feel like he's going to get all of the stuff for free, like you were talking about earlier, and he doesn't really have to work for any of that, then why do he need to marry you?
Right.
You know, what would he gain from the marriage that he's not gaining from the relationship?
Right.
Exactly.
So, but then, you know, again, that goes back to the woman's standard, right? She got to be able to set that standard for herself. Like, there's certain things that I'm not going to give you until we get married.
Absolutely. You got to establish boundaries.
Yeah.
And I also think, kind of just talking about, kind of summing that part up, is the level and the balance of commitment. Like we're talking about commitment, but it has to be both sides.
Right, mutual.
You know, nobody should be pushing it more than the other. It should be a mutual understanding how important commitment is, especially for long-lasting situations. I know for me, when I was ready to get married, because I pursued my wife, you know what I mean? I think the main thing that kind of led her on to where I was heading with it, I just took her ring sizing. So I went to the mall. I said, you know, we were walking past Zales. I said, hey, let me get your, you know, that you want my ring size?
Hold up.
But I let it be known that's my intention.
Right.
So from a woman's perspective, you'll see the intentions. They're going to show you something. They're going to do something. They're going to say something that's going to let you know. And if you're not getting those hints,
get on through.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
absolutely. Keep pushing. Absolutely. All right, next question. Why do you guys think some guys respect certain girls and some guys disrespect certain girls. Like, why is it that guys respect and disrespect females?
I think a lot of the times is based on the experience of the guy. You know what I'm saying?
True.
Like how he's brought up and what are the things that he allows to shape his worldview. You know, so if he's listening to music or, you know, watching shows or videos or even being brought up by other men that objectify women, in other words, that say that women are objects to be conquered and nothing more, that they aren't queens or that their worth isn't beyond measure or that they aren't like the prize, as you said before. You know, those are things that can make a guy, and then if he sees that the women like that, you know what I'm saying?
There
Because
you
a
go.
lot of the
Right
times,
on it.
that's the thing. Like, you know, if I see that you like this type of guy and I like you, well, and I'm not all the way into and secure in myself, then I'm gonna try and be that guy because I want you. So if that guy is somebody who is, you know, doesn't communicate, doesn't pursue you, he's hard to get, so to speak, and you know what I'm saying, that's not necessarily my nature, but I want you. You know, sometimes I pretend to be that so that I can get you.
Oh, that's good.
I just want to throw something in real quick, just to add to what Antoine stated. You know, he talked about how women present themselves.
There you go.
I like that word.
I think it's
I was looking like
yeah.
I was like,
Presentate. Ooh.
presentate. I gotta put that
I
in
think
my...
it's important to know, and this is probably coming from my law enforcement background. I was caught for 12 years.
12, huh?
Yeah, even though they may present themselves a certain way, that doesn't justify certain actions.
I agree. I definitely agree.
And I want to make sure all the young lady hear us say that you know, no still means no.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter, you know, what the guy perceive you as presenting. No still mean no. I just wanted to throw that out there.
Hey, appreciate that. Yeah, definitely got clarified.
I think perfect combination of what both of my gentlemen are saying over here is, it is about like definitely still how you present yourself, how you, the upbringing of the young man, and like what they see, let me see how I can say this, what's popping these days. So like if you listen to certain, like if you see what's like popping, you see what music you listen to, what rappers, what R&B, and how not to be so direct on these people because I don't like to talk about artists, but certain female rappers, how they present themselves, and you know all the words to all her songs, and you start to dress like how she dressed, and then when you start to listen to the words of that same female rapper, you're looking like, well, she talks about guys like this, she likes guys like this, she likes like guys, these type of guys, and just like my brother Malcolm was saying, you looking like, well, maybe I should be like those guys that female rapper is talking about, because that's what you like. Oh, that's your favorite artist. Well, what does she like? Oh, she likes that. Well, let me do this. Oh, they talk like this. Oh, he calls her out her name. She like that. I'm gonna try that. Then you try it because you want to appeal to her, and now you come off wrong, and now you're confused. You look like, I thought I put my best foot forward. Like, no, I didn't like that. Well, why? Never mind. Now you got the guys confused and stuff like that, you know, when it comes to things like that.
To that,
go ahead.
Like now, he's gonna put out there about the young lady something that was a misunderstanding. Now he turns into a rumor, you know, about her and how she is as a person. Oh, she's a tease. Oh, she this.
Oh, yeah.
She
Oh,
that.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
She sometimes she
Ooh,
flipping,
that's good.
You know what
That's
I'm saying,
good.
and all this stuff like that. So just be direct. You know what I'm saying. Whatever it is that you want, just stick to that. Set those boundaries.
Subject in
you know,
itself,
establish what it is that like your worth and who you are as a person, what you are willing to accept, and then anything that doesn't mirror that, just let it go.
And one part to that question that I don't want to glaze over.
Go ahead.
And real quick, maybe like 15 seconds apiece. Now, what would make you respect? I know we looked at what would make you look at something disrespectfully. So now, what will make you show respect to a young lady? I know we talk about the influences.
What I just said just now, her like showing like that she has her own self-confidence, self-love, and that she understands like her boundaries and what she's willing to accept. She has a direction that she's pursuing, and anything that ain't in that direction, she don't even see it. She got the blinders on and she pushing it. So if you coming at her talking about, oh, I can buy you this, or, I can do this, I got a car, you know what I'm saying? I can come pick you up. What's up? You know what I'm saying? She just like, I'm not interested in that right now. This is what I'm pursuing. That's attractive.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
I got mad respect for anybody who like finds a goal, sticks to it, and hammers it out until they make it happen.
What you think? Respect. What's gonna make you respect the young woman?
What you
young lady?
So I think a woman who is, I think a woman who knows what she wants is very attractive. I think, if you have goals and you have plans in the future, I think that's attractive to me.
That's good.
It's attractive to me. That's really it.
So what you're saying is you don't prefer a woman that wants
doesn't have anything
going for herself,
yeah, exactly.
don't have a plan,
Yeah.
want to leech off other people.
Right.
Yeah.
That's authentically herself. She ain't trying to be one of those
That's a
rappers.
great way to put it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Authentic.
absolutely.
So now there's something you said a second ago, and I want to kind of revisit that thought. You were talking about worldview and male interaction, male involvement. Now, it's another question. I'm going somewhere with it.
Okay.
Take your time, Pastor.
Hey, So I know, unfortunately, there's high divorce rates, high percentages of broken homes.
Yep.
And we've seen this where young women, even some older women, they will try to look for father qualities and look for that fatherly, how can I say, involvement from who they may be dating or who they may be seeing. Now, what's the danger of that? Me personally, I don't believe any young woman, regardless of your age, should be looking for a fatherly figure out of someone you're dating. But what do y'all think?
Can I ask, do you mean fatherly figure for her or fatherly figure for future reference?
No, for her.
No, for her. Yes, for her. Like, you can't be her father. You can't be daddy.
Okay.
All you can be is the boyfriend or the man in that sense. So, what's your question or your answer to that?
Can someone answer that?
Anybody else?
I have to think a little more.
All right, so the way that I feel about that is that essentially a father is the person who protects as well as encourages and also helps to establish the identity of his daughter, right? So, a good father, which, fathers, you know what I'm saying? They're looking for somebody who is giving them something that they were missing, you know what I'm saying? And it's really hard to like guide them away from that, because it's like, if they don't have any exposure to anything else, you know what I'm saying? If they don't have any like uncles or like, counselors or coaches or anything like that, that can take that mentor, male mentor role, it's easy to fall into that. Because even as a male, you know what I'm saying, we go through that.
Right.
Because I know for me, a lot of the times I found myself, because of a lack of relationship with my mom, searching for the edification and affirmations like that pat on the back that I didn't get from my mom, from women in various different arenas. So for me, what ended up happening was I had to really search myself and encourage myself and affirm myself. I had to find things that fed me like that. So I had to find people who told me that I was loved and I was worthy and that I was strong and I was capable and I was enough. That I was enough. That was a good one right there. That one there, that one there was powerful. Like, that was enough. You know what I'm saying? That I didn't have to jump through hoops, that I didn't have to be a specific kind of man in order to, be worthy of somebody's affection. And I think for women, like, for young girls and women, they have to do the same thing. They have to find things that build them up so that they don't have to be a certain type of woman for men to get their attention. So
Now, could you say, and I don't mean to cut
Go
you
ahead.
off,
No,
but
you
could
good.
you say that could lead to an unhealthy codependency upon a person? If you're
Absolutely.
looking for
thinking
them
that
to
in my head.
become
Absolutely.
a father
Absolutely.
figure
So-
in their life where that's not really what they're meant to be.
So that's while my brother was talking, that's exactly what I was thinking. That when we was talking before about something that can push a male away or something like that, it takes a lot more energy to be somebody else. I only can be who I'm meant to be. I can be your husband. I can be your boyfriend at the time until we get there. But me being your father, me trying to play his role and try to play my role, that takes a lot of energy. That's a lot of stress. And a lot of times, definitely us as men, we're trying to be everything you need. So we don't realize we're trying to be things we're not supposed to be trying to be. So we get drained and we feel like we're messing up. We're not being the man. We're doing something wrong. And then sometimes it hurts because a woman could leave us for that. Because they don't really realize that I wanted the father part out of you. I couldn't be that. So now you make me feel like I'm lacking in something. And I'm not really lacking in something. I just can't be your father. You know, you want me to tell you this and this and this, and I can't do that, you know? And I think that's what really hinders when it comes into a relationship. You have to know who he is not and who he is, you know, and
what his role is.
Exactly. And if you know the difference between that, I think it will take a lot of pressure off yourself and it will take a lot of pressure off of that man, you know.
Is that, so can we also maybe try to like make sure that we're clarifying that that's not saying that if you do have a good and present father who has set a wonderful standard and example, it's not wrong to look for a male that mirrors what you're used to as far as your present and like good father. Like that's not wrong. Because if your dad was in there holding it down, doing everything right by your mom's, like, you know, edifying you, building you up, showing you what it is to be a protector and a provider, and you want a man of your own that mirrors that like stability and strength, ain't nothing wrong with that. Right. But if you didn't have it at all and you just looking for anybody to fill that, now that's not cool.
So to add to what you said earlier, you know, really what we're talking about is daddy issues.
Right.
How does a young lady overcome the daddy issues? Because there's a whole bunch of girls growing up without fathers. And the truth is they are looking to other men, young men, to be that fatherly figure for them. And you said it so excellent, you have to affirm yourself.
Right.
I can't remember if it was a movie or something I was listening to, but a guy told a girl, was like, "Oh, you're so pretty." And the girl was like, "I know, you don't need to tell me, my dad told me." Right? So, but if dad's not there, baby, you got to tell yourself.
Right. She's like, "Oh, I know. I tell me that every morning."
That's right.
You got to wake up in the morning, look in that mirror and be like, "Girl, you are killing it."
Yes.
Already.
Yes.
Already.
That I am loved.
Yeah.
I am enough. Right?
Yeah.
You got to have that conversation. And that's really where the challenge is for our young girls is they look for that father figure because they don't have that affirmation within themselves. So, I mean, really, it's as simple as telling themselves that in the mirror every morning, you are loved, you are enough.
Even if you don't believe it, just keep saying it. It'll come true.
So like, when you think about the dynamics of relationships and healthy relationships, like we're talking about healthy, meaningful relationships. I have a daughter, she's 12 years old. So I talk to her often about the dangers and pitfalls of abuse. Like abuse is a big thing. But just in regular relationships, what we feel is things that these young women should be looking out for as far as abuse, whether it's verbal abuse, God forbid, physical abuse, things they need to be looking out for because we, like we said, we are not just our brother's keeper, but our sister's keeper as well.
That's right.
So just give me some thoughts on that. What do you guys think about that?
Man, you see guys that are short-tempered, you know what I'm saying? Everything set them off, just easy to irritate. You know, the slightest little thing, and they ready to pump up in your face and put up the dukes. Like, yeah, you don't need them issues, little mama. Like, you know, it may look like that's a strong, protective man, but he could also end up being real controlling and abusive too.
Absolutely.
You know, he ain't just trying to fight them guys that was looking at you or sliding in your DM. He might be trying to fight you too.
Right.
You don't need them problems.
Yeah.
I would definitely say that. When it comes to like someone losing their temper or, you know, definitely if you are dating him, when you see like he gets very aggressive when it's basic conversation, or if you see him do things, maybe if he punched a hole in the wall because you said something that he didn't like, stuff like that. If you see him do certain things like that, or maybe he grabbed you and something like that, you always see those things as like red flags, something to really pay attention to.
Right now?
Yeah, I think it's
That's
red
the thing right
flags.
now.
Don't even get me started on that. But
So,
flags.
Like, have you ever
certain
witnessed, like, with amongst your peers or things like that, like guys that maybe aren't like, real aggressive or anything like that, but they real nice talkers, like they can be real manipulative and stuff like that?
I don't think I have. I try to,
Really?
surround myself.
Hey,
with,
that's dope. See,
Yeah.
he got the right idea. That's what it is.
That's good.
Because people can do that too. They may not. There's certain times where they're just really good at talking. Hey man, listen. I really care about you. You know what I'm saying? So
Sounds like a salesman.
if you wanna, hey, I'm telling you, if you want, I mean, I did sales for like 12 years. So like, but like, if you wanted to go ahead and buy me lunch today. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that'd be cool. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'll take the chicken though. I don't want the burger. I want
So,
the chicken.
and you're kind of leading into how verbal abuse is just as destructive as physical abuse.
Very, very,
So if you love me, like if you come on now, you would do this, right?
Right.
You know what I'm saying, man? I know your
Manipulation
parents
at
said
its
not to take
finest.
the car, but
Yeah.
if you love me,
Right.
you'll come get me though, right?
on
If
deeper
you
there,
love
on
me-
deeper there, or when it goes into, your mama, she didn't really get out of the town. Your auntie, so if you probably should just stay at McDonald's. Going to college is not even worth it.
Come on,
And
man.
that you slip on your grades.
Yeah, the women in
probably
your
won't
family
even
don't
get
do
into a
nothing.
college like that. So you should just stay right here. Nobody really leaves this town. You ain't gonna leave this town. So when they start to push you down out of what you know that you can achieve, you bust right through that wall.
Yeah.
Right.
Because they start to tell you, no, just downgrade yourself.
You ain't gonna be no
Don't make sure,
doctor.
when they start to downgrade your dreams, your drive, your integrity, then that's automatically a sign of abuse, verbal abuse, and you have to push to that. They're both dangerous, but I think verbal abuse is very,
more
very
commonplace,
It's
huh?
more common, and you sometimes
subtle,
you
too.
have to
Very
really
subtle.
pay attention to it when you're doing it, and you start to not do the things you used to do. Even if you was doing sports, running and basketball, and then all of a sudden you stop training, you stop doing these
Right.
things, you stop being the great person that you are. Be
He's sitting there
careful
like, dang man, every time I'm trying to spend time with you, you're trying to study. Like,
damn.
you always
Instead of encouraging
Yeah,
them,
you
right?
always studying, man. You always got some kind of test or something like that, man. Like, dang, you can't just miss one class?
Right, right.
Gosh,
You always
man.
shooting the basketball.
What
Why
you mean
shooting
you got
for
an
it?
internship? They ain't even paying you. Like, why you going? You doing that for free.
Bottom line, it's about
Facts,
love and
facts.
respect, right?
That's it.
Whether it's physical abuse, mental abuse, emotional abuse, spiritual abuse, right? If a man can abuse you in any of those ways,
You can do it in all of those ways.
literally, but he doesn't love you.
No,
That's right.
not at all.
He doesn't respect you. You were talking about if if you love me, you'll steal the car and come see me.
Right.
Right. If you love me, you'll send me those pictures.
Stop.
Right.
But
That's what.
Okay, we ain't gonna talk about that.
Yeah,
That's
but
another
that's real.
segment.
That's
the
another-
crazy
that's
thing
that's
is,
another segment.
What
That's
you're saying is, he's saying, if you love me, at no point in time is he reciprocating that.
Right.
He's not
right.
saying, hey, I love you, so I'm going to do this. He's telling you that he wants you to make all the sacrifice, and he gets all the reward.
Love should not hurt.
Right.
Love should not hurt.
Right.
If it's properly reciprocated, it should not hurt. And if you're in a relationship and you're being hurt, whether mentally, emotionally, physically, then they don't love you. So I feel like this conversation is going into the next question.
Right. Yeah, yes, sir.
In our world today in society, sex trafficking, human trafficking, it's a very, very big thing. One of the reasons that it's so easy for a young girl to be lured into sex trafficking is because of that daddy issue, because they don't have that self-confidence about themselves. Most young people who are caught up in the sex trafficking is typically done through online. What are you all's perspective on a young woman meeting a guy online, and then that guy asking to meet up with them. Like, what advice would you give to a young girl if stranger danger, right?
I'm about to say, other than don't do it, like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I don't do it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, and if
But
you
now
decide
in
to,
today's world, though, a lot of hookups are taking place online.
within
Exactly.
public places and with people with you. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I wouldn't do that by myself.
Right.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? I mean, like, y'all are, we were talking before and y'all were saying that y'all both have daughters. What are some things that maybe you guys like kind of instilled in your daughters to try and like, or parameters that you put in place to make sure that, you know, your daughters didn't have to deal with those things?
Well, as a parent, I monitored everything. So some stranger guy is in my daughter's inbox, you know, I'm going to address that. But outside of that, just really being a father and a man, again, it just goes to teaching them that boundary, right? You don't want to give out your personal information to people that you don't know are real.
Right.
You don't want to, you know, fall in love with the online person. Again, you know, catfish is a real serious thing. Some people do it just for fun. Right. Some of y'all listening probably have done it before. Right? So you really don't know who you're talking to on the other end. So it's just, you got to be careful. And that's what I teach my daughter. Is that, you know, you just got to be careful.
So you was talking about, like, so what exactly is catfishing?
So catfishing is when someone pretends to be somebody else online.
Gotcha.
Right? So, and I'll put it out there, you know, when I worked in the school as a police officer, I would create fake pages.
To catch them.
Yeah, to befriend some of my, you know, thuggish friends in the school. Because, you know, for some reason, kids put everything on social media. And so we actually did an experiment one time where the guidance counselor created a fake Instagram, sometime called Finstagram. Created this fake Instagram, added several kids from the school. They added her back. And it was just some old guy as the profile picture, and talked about, you know, what he liked to do in that community. And kids would communicate with him. And so we had the meeting with the student body and showed everybody this was a fake person, and you were having conversation with this guy. Don't know what his intentions were.
Right.
You're just having that conversation. So it's a scary world out there. But dealing with young people, the responsibility, yes, falls on them, but it more so falls on the parents, the adults in that young person's life, to safeguard them from, you know, social media predators.
So, and you know, technology is so different now, even for like, you know, us. I mean, we're in our early 30s, right? And like, there are things that are going on in social media that I had no idea was even a thing. So I could only imagine that some of these parents may not be aware of just where, like, you know, from their phones, their tablets, and all this stuff, the things that they're capable of doing. So, like, with that being the case, like, obviously there are going to be situations where, because, like, my son is 8 and he know about TikTok more than I do. You know what I'm saying? And they're watching things and being influenced by things, and like, what are some things that maybe we could put out there to help them to, I guess, put boundaries on what it is that they're consuming in social media?
Yeah, so, you know, I actually...
For themselves, not their parents, but themselves.
Right, yeah. It's really kind of hard for the kid because of the pressure, right? Their peers, they're all wide open. They're experiencing social media without filter, without boundaries. So it's really hard to say what a kid can do, because I feel like in that area, it's the adult's responsibility.
Gotcha.
It's the adult's responsibility to set those boundaries for them. Open communication, you know, is one thing adults could be having with their kids.
Right.
And then, you know, spot checking those phones. I know most teenagers, they hate it. They hate it.
And I was coming right. I said, well, now, but see, now, of course, we're a little older, but we do actually have a high school senior on the panel.
Absolutely.
So my brother, let us know.
As soon as he said spot checking, he's like, oh.
Right. We're talking about TikTok. We're talking about the gram. We're talking about all these things. So just from your perspective as a high school senior, what are the kind of things that you can do to kind of safeguard yourself against? Because I mean, I know everybody dropping their pin, dropping their location, hooking up outside the school, getting with each other, but you know you got to be careful of that kind of stuff. So what would you say?
Yeah, I think you just have to be sure about who you talk to. Make sure, because he told me, get the person, whoever you're talking to online, get them to do something like take a picture of them doing something like weird or like sticking their finger in the air or something, just to make sure, that's a real person.
Yeah, that's good. I will say this, and I know we can keep moving. I know we can get kind of caught up on this, but I will always say, always have a plan of safety. Have secret codes that you can share with your parents. Pull that phone out, whip that phone out, text them if you feel like you're in danger, anything like that. Always try to keep a couple dollars for Uber if necessary. If you got to get up out of somewhere and you need to keep it moving quickly, do that as well. Don't be afraid to call 911. Sometimes it needs to happen.
Absolutely.
Just whatever you can do to make sure that you'll be safe, so that way you will see tomorrow.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So yeah, yes
Absolutely.
indeed.
That actually went into your next.
Yes, it does. It does. So, in that line of thinking, why? And see, my daughter, she's 12, right? So she hadn't got to the boy phase yet. Oof. But I'm already preparing,
Lord,
right?
have mercy.
I'm preparing. So why do young women, and I know we've all experienced or seen this, why do it seems like they prefer the bad boys?
Ooh,
The bad boys.
That's easy.
Can we get Antoine to give
I was
his
about to say,
perspective?
we all was about to, Antoine.
The only reason why I'm asking for your input is because you're in the school.
Yes.
You're among the young ladies, really the ones that are listening. Give us your perspective as a non-bad boy, because I just want to say he's a good kid.
Yes.
Why do you think that is?
I think that part of the reason is because what the media has showed, what a young boy should look like, you know what I mean? The music they listen to, the TV shows, the things they see, they might think it's cool and, they might want to do that. And I guess you could say the women might think it's also cool, to have a guy like that.
So what do you guys consider a bad boy?
I consider someone that goes against what people tell you to do, even the right thing. So as a kid being brought up in a house, with rules, life with rules, following the system. When someone breaks that, when they're doing the thing that they said don't do, don't smoke at this time, don't smoke weed, don't have sex at this time, don't do these things. And the person that seems like they can do that, they're breaking these barriers. They're doing it, they're that renegade, they're that outlaw. There's something that you kind of want to be because you want to break these rules as well. And it's in us a lot of time to break these rules. Someone said you can't do it. The more they say you can't do it, your mind's like, I want to do this so bad now because you keep telling me. Then when you see someone who's already doing that and it's nothing to them.
Right.
You're like,
right.
I was nothing to them like that. I want to kind of be like that. And that's not always a good thing because it always starts going down a path you don't want to go down. So I think that's mainly reason. There was a time for me, I was into bad girls. I was into girls that always wanted to be at a certain party, always wanted to be dancing, twerking up. I was into that. Like how they dance, how they dress, and all these other things. I wanted that. And then I noticed every time I went that direction, it wasn't for me. It all led me to a path that I didn't want to stay at. It led me down to a dead end, didn't work for me. And I couldn't be that guy, So that's what I think. It's normally when this, the certain things that you always told that you can't do. And you see this person doing it, and they're doing it flawlessly. They're doing it so nonchalantly. And you're like, oh man, well, if he's doing these things and he's doing fine, he's content, then I should be fine too. You know, normally when your parents tell you things that you can't do, you're thinking like, oh, that's damnation. Right. You're just about to go straight here. Well, he's doing just fine.
Right.
Actually, he has new Jordans on at the same time he's doing it.
Yeah.
So maybe I can do that too, and I'll be fine as well. You know, that's what I think.
You brought up a great point when you talked about how, you know, if someone is trying to get you to do something you know you shouldn't be doing, old saying, I could do bad all by myself.
Right.
And yeah, we talking about bad boys, but this can go for really anybody, any friend. Right. I personally believe that if you're not in my life to build me up, to help me stand, then you really don't need to be in my life, right? If my girlfriend or their boyfriend, all they're doing is keeping them down, keeping them falling, that is not the right person for you. But then it goes back to the same conversation we had earlier about those standards, right? How do you value yourself as a woman? How do you value yourself? Do you see yourself as valuable? And if you do, then you won't be allowing individuals to come into your space and create havoc.
Right.
You know?
Awesome. Yeah, that's good right there.
I know an interesting way that I tend to look at it, and this can go whether it's females or males. A lot of times we look at the bad boy or the bad girl and we look at the end result, but we don't also always look at the root of the issue or how it began. So what I tend to do is I always say whatever you see or experience often is what trains you. And whatever trains you becomes your point of reference, right? And whatever becomes your point of reference, you end up replicating or duplicating, right?
I know doing it over and over again. That's all you've seen.
So if you've seen broken relationships, if you feed yourself these negative images, the negative music, the negative themes, right? And then that's what trains you to think a certain type of way, and that becomes your point of reference when you're going into relationships. Just even whether just friends or actual relationships with the opposite sex. So those are the point of references that we create, and what happens? We begin to replicate that bad behavior, those bad choices, those bad decisions. So what I would say is because you almost have to make it to where you purposely look for the right things to look at, the right involvement, the right relationships. You know what I mean? People who are going to inspire you in the proper way.
So what you're saying is that if you keep seeing bad things, then it's very likely for you to keep doing bad things.
Yeah, it's all about what you involve yourself with. It's all about what you take in. It's about what you ingest inside of you.
So it's the whole you are what you eat?
Yeah, right. You got to watch that diet. That's it.
Or show me your friends, I'll show you your future.
That's what I'm talking about.
You got some wisdom.
Come on, high school scene. That's what I'm talking about. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So I think it's on me.
Yes.
Yeah, and we wrapping up with time. So let's talk about this. Now, you know, we talked about girls externally, you know, the way they present themselves. What is most attractive to you guys about a girl internally, right? And I know we touched on this earlier, but let's go into that a little bit deeper. What is it about a girl, not the exterior feature, that is attractive? Now, for most men, that's what we see first, right? The exterior.
But I can be turned off real quick by some internal stuff that you guys
you could be
not really working
most beautiful here, but completely ugly on the inside. So how do
since we try and wrap it up, I'll make it quick. So drive, perspective, vision, direction.
Yep. That's good. You got to.
Yeah, you got. I'm asking you to go into that.
Just say that real quick. You got to definitely just make a little soft.
So with drive, she has to have her own like motivation to move in the direction that she's going in. So if she's like, I'm trying to be a doctor, everything that she's doing is filtered through her being a doctor. So you over here, let's go to this party. Nah, I'm trying to be a doctor. That's not helping me. Unless it's doctors at the party that I'm about to be talking to, I ain't coming. You know what I'm saying? I'm there. That. If you're talking about perspective, she sees life through a lens where she's not the victim, but the conqueror. You know what I'm saying? She's like, look, man, I got a hard hand. Some things is missing in my life, but that's all right. That just means I got to work a little bit harder, right? That's good. Vision. She sees what it is that she wants to do, and she has a clear like direction that she's trying to go. So with the last one with direction is like, again, back to the doctor thing, like she sees what her end destination is. And so that already makes it so that the decisions that she makes have to make her closer to that. So it's like, look, man, I can sit here and play around with y'all all I want, but my grades will slip. And if my grades slip, then I'm not going to be able to get into the school that I'm trying to get into. And if I can't get into the school that I'm trying to get into, then I may not reach my dream. So that right there, I'm not about to do it because I can't risk it. What I want, my vision is so valuable to me that nothing is going to stop me from getting there.
That's attractive.
Right.
That is.
So for me,
that's attractive.
Oh, I'm all about it.
Yeah.
All about it.
And Tom, what would you say, bro?
So can you
What is it that you are most attracted to internally about a woman?
You know, I would say a woman that, like he said, has goals. And, you know, if she's not trying to get to her goals, then, you know, it's no good for me.
Well, let me ask you this. Do you think that it's okay for a woman to put a man before her goals?
Absolutely not.
Y'all heard it. Y'all heard it.
That's right.
Absolutely not. Nah.
That's right.
Hey, man, this has been a good talk.
Man, great discussion. There it is, guys. Y'all heard it from the boys.
Yeah.
We hope that it's been a blessing to you all, and we hope that it encouraged you. Y'all be safe. Back to you, ladies.
All right, see ya.
Well, Jessica, I don't know about you, but those boys really hit home.
Yeah, they knew what they were talking about, and we love to see and hear it. We hope that listening to them, you truly realize how special you
truly are.
How special you truly are. So as we wrap up the session for today, remember about these cash prizes, okay? You must log on and complete this post-evaluation. So, Ashanti, again, we're bringing things to an end. How have these last few sessions made you feel?
They actually moved me. They helped me understand better about myself, and they helped me look and listen to stuff differently.
Absolutely. We feel inspired and empowered, and we truly hope that you feel the same. All right, and so I guess this is us signing off. And remember, your worth is beyond measure.
Love you guys. Bye.
Love you.